So I'm really liking this view right now. I moved the camera. Ooh, ooh, I like it. That's the wrong one. So I woke up this morning and I had by far like the worst dream going on this morning. I lucid dream a lot in the mornings, okay? I didn't really want my eyes on camera, so that's good. And this morning, my lucid dream was my sister and I had moved somewhere in the dream temporarily into some like temporary like apartment or something. And we had to vacate. All of a sudden, like the weekend or the week was over and we had to leave. We had to go somewhere else with this new group of people, okay? We drove somebody there. It's always my sister's car. I don't know why. So somebody was in the car. I think we had to drive like 2 people with us to this event or whatever, okay? For the weekend or for the week, however long we stayed. I'm not really sure. So I knew that we had to take somebody with us when we left, if we took somebody with us to get there. So we're trying to pack up our furniture and stuff. And then we see the guy that we have to drive. It's this big, huge, burly fucking volleyball workout douchebag kind of dude with like the short shorts and shit. He's like, okay, I'm driving with you guys. And we're like, okay, well, where's your bags? And he goes, well, I have 16 of them. 16? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, so I knew right there we had been fucked over in some way. We weren't allowed to take all of our stuff. We had to now take this guy's baggage in our car. And something said to me, well, if you had a boyfriend, this wouldn't have happened. Well, if you had a husband, this wouldn't have happened. And I was like, I woke up and, in this life, I've had to deal with a lot of women, okay? And I'm talking about the women who throw these like nasty little cat fights out and then go and hide behind their husband or their boyfriend or something. Like, you remember those fucking girls, right? They would like, oh, I had this one chick throw a drink, I think on my friend Jen, all over her face or something. And oh my God, we fucking went at her like the way, and then she ran and she hid beside my sister's ex-boyfriend at the time. I was like, are you going to try to go hide behind Mason right now? What fucking idiot. People don't know. Okay. When you're in a small town and you got outsiders come in, they don't know who knows each other. Okay. So anyways, I woke up and I think that's what got me in my dream was all of these women who, even in male form in my dreams, will come to me and then go and run and hide behind somebody else. And then in the dream, they always say, if you had a boyfriend or if you were married, this would never happen. And then that's where that devil contract comes in, where I swear to God, I just heard 99. I don't even know if that's right. But apparently there is only 1% of women who actually really want to get married because they want to get married. It's not because they actually want to be with that person. They want the contract that helps them in this world. And that's it. So, the only reason why I go live is because there's something happening currently that I get angry about. And then I know that the video is going to be almost an hour. So I say, fuck it. Why channel it on my own when I can have an audience, right? So, Here we go. If you've been single, and I'm going to say 5+ years, okay? This isn't like you're single because you want to be single. This is like you're single because basically the universe is kind of like fucking you over. And you know that they're fucking you over. They're fucking you over. So it's one of those things. Like, I mean, you'll know if you're in that category and whether or not you're putting yourself in that category because you've got all these potentials around you. You don't want to date anybody. That's not really this category. Okay, this category is about the people who are actually trying to get actively involved in the community and meet people, and it's not working. And the reason why it's not working is because someone's getting something from you in the 5D. And if they're getting it in the 5D, I can almost guarantee it's giving them something in the 3D as well. Okay? Or they wouldn't fucking do it. That's the thing. People don't do shit that attacks other people unless they get something out of it. Okay? Or it's just useless. Look at it! Oh my God, I'm so happy you're here. Oh my God, I haven't had a moderator on for so long because I haven't been going live. Oh my God, loving it. You're with us. I know, right? How long have you been single? Like, I've been single for almost 10 years now. Like, I mean, I've had some, like, dating people. I've had sex in between, but not anybody that I was like, oh, I could see myself, you know, going out with them for a while. Fuck no. Are you kidding? Oh. And now I know, right, because I swear to God, I wouldn't be able to get raped in my dreams either if I had a husband. That's the thing. So I don't know what's happening to you in your dreams, but now it's making me think that the things that happen in my dreams with these people are happening with you. Okay? Oh, really? Because it was probably fucking tainted. Somebody was able to take the contract and fucking do something with it. Okay, so the reading is starting at about 6 minutes, which is basically Whitney style. Okay, give me one reason. Look at, here we go. Already talking. I'm going to use my cards because my cards are the easiest to communicate with me. Okay, so this is one reason why. We're going to do a few reasons because they're all going to be super shallow and super fucking, oh my God, shitty. So we're all just going to sit and listen to these shitty excuses together, okay? That's what we're going to do. I'm doing this so that I don't have to read my cards all alone as to why I'm still single. Because it fucking sucks, okay? Oh my God, you know when I was talking about that drink being thrown in my friend's face? Guess who came? Mike, the bouncer, the one who I made this card for. See, Gondosh Security? Gondosh was his last name. And he used to kick everybody out of the bar for me at this one place. I swear to God, I think he's dead now. I actually think he OD'd. He was really bad into drugs. And steroids. He did a lot of fucking steroids. And to be honest, he might even be giving me this message. He's like my little guardian angel, maybe. He's guiding me right towards this. So now what he's saying, okay, is where you're being guided is where nobody can see you. Because somebody thinks you're a loser, okay? And they're not letting you know this, so you can't use your basic instincts. You can't use your, all of a sudden, you know, what do you call those? Intuitive instincts, right? You can't use them if you don't know what's going on. What up, okay? If you don't know what's going on, how are you supposed to get there? Okay, so what Mike is telling me right now, okay, is your love life has been shattered because of money. They're getting money from you. And I feel like you don't have very much money in the real world, okay? And you might live somewhere that doesn't look the best, okay? You know, shitty neighborhood, could be like subsidized housing or something like that, you know? And they put you there so then they can take your money because it's a place where you can easily get hurt, right? I mean, if you think about it, subsidized housing place or like a kind of broken down apartment building or a house that nobody takes care of or a rooming house or something like that, right? They'll keep you there and then you can't ever get out of it. Right? You can't fight. You can't do anything. Right? Actually, maybe it's along with my dream where we were physically trying to leave, but every time we every time we left somewhere, we lost like half of our stuff. So by the end of the whole ordeal, we had to buy all new furniture, which means what the fuck? Who the fuck has that much money to move? And then have to buy all new shit. What the fuck? No. Okay, so when people see you, they think, well, I'm going to have to help them. I'm going to have to buy them all new stuff. I'm going to have to do all of this. And then the fucking loser walks away from you. Honestly. Right? Because these are losers. So these people that are being directed to come to you, okay, steal from you. So if you were to even get a boyfriend or to get a girlfriend, the whole part, it's like the universe, like, is this a fucking hex or something? Like, why did this person do this? I almost feel like there's so much to be said with this. It's ridiculous. Like, I knew that was Pandora's box. Okay, so they opened up some type of box, okay? And I almost say they put you in a box. It's like a spell or something, you know? They put you in the box, and then they get everything that's supposed to come to you because you're in the box. See, the reason why this channel is a little bit different is because I work off of magic, okay? There are so many fake little magicians and witches out there that think they know what they're doing, and they don't. Okay, they don't know what they're doing. They're little witches in little minds trying to produce things that are for you to come into their life so then they don't have to do anything but sit on their ass, okay? And from the looks of it, try to get some man. Oh, what is with this third eye nonsense? Okay, so whoever's fucking you over right now wants a YouTube OnlyFans channel. Are you kidding me? Is that what I'm seeing right now? They're doing this? Oh my God. Okay, so if you have a channel, if you have a YouTube channel, you have an Instagram, or you have an Etsy where you're like selling something, you're promoting something, and it is going nowhere, you're just at a plateau and it won't move, it's because of this person, okay? This person all of a sudden put you in a box, okay? And because you're in the box locked up, like I even think there's like fucking saran wrap. I don't know if this is a voodoo doll or like just your name, but it's like saran wrapped, and then it's got all this like black tissue paper surrounding it, so you're just like in blackness. You're just in blackness, okay? And then what they've got is some cup that like has your name on it that says your blessings, and your blessings go into the cup and they drink it. Your blessings go into the cup, they put it in their wallet. This person has managed to fuck you, and this is really making me mad, okay? This is really fucked. Like, I hate people, and I do this for a living, okay? I try to help people every day. I do everything I can, okay, in my own power to help people get through some of the worst storms of their life. And then I bring up little fucking bitches like this. And guess what? The fucking cunt's got long blonde hair and her lips are Botoxed. Because that's what she's doing with your money. Botoxing her fucking lips. So she can suck dick better? Probably. Or is it to eat pussy? Which one is it for, bitch? Because people who fucking pluck their lips up like that, okay, aren't real. They're robots. So she probably gets her Botox in her face and her fucking everything is just pushed right back, and she's got cumbrellas on her fucking eyes. Okay, did you know that a prostitute invented those eyelashes? And you know what she called them? Cumbrellas. So the cum didn't get in her eye. Okay, ladies, check yourself with those fucking eyelashes. Nobody likes them. Your man doesn't like them. No, actually, you wouldn't be watching this if you had a man. Okay, but if you're trying to get a man, get those fucking nails off you and get those eyelashes off of you. It's making you appear as a false individual, which is what this person wants, okay? She tries to be the au naturel. I don't wear makeup, I don't wear this, but she's Botoxing the fuck out of her face. What's worse, a little Maybelline or some Botox plastic injected under your skin, okay? This person is so fucking stupid. She watches Etsy pages and lives them, okay? She wants to be the IKEA magazine, and she's living off of you. So I don't know if anybody's laughing or if somebody doesn't take this seriously, but let me tell you, whoever this message is for, if you laugh at it, it's only going to make it worse, okay, and take more of your money because they're laughing at you right now. Okay, this is serious. This kind of shit is serious, or I wouldn't waste my time bringing it up. Okay, what these spells do to people and how much they fuck them over is it's a silent trigger. It's what makes people put a gun in their mouth because they're being so fucked with that they don't know where it's coming from. That's witchcraft. That's what witchcraft does. It fucks you. It gets into your head, and then you think you're doing something wrong, and then you try doing all this existential shit to yourself, thinking that it is just looking at a fucking, outside of a book, like you're some type of picture, and you're not. You're a human being, okay? And the more perfect you try to appear, the less people are going to be around you, because the more you're appearing not authenticious, I'm going to fucking tell you that right now, okay? And actually, I was thinking about Slain. That's Slain. That's from this movie, The Town. This cop is asking him to read these lines, and he's trying to make it sound authenticious, but this cop is like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to make it sound authenticious. And the cop's like, authent what? Because he's a fucking idiot. He's a loser. He doesn't even know what that means. Okay, you can't get somebody to just say something that's not how they said it in real life, right? So that's the thing. So you might have like these bullshit cops around you, or this bullshit fucking universe around you that is not actually looking at what's happening to you. It's looking at everything else and going, well, you look like you're okay. Oh, really? Well, so do a lot of things. A lot of people look like they're okay on the outside. It doesn't mean that they're not falling apart on the inside. Have you ever seen that movie, What Women Want? I'm getting that movie. Look at Liar. Oh my God, it's staring at me in the bottom of the deck, okay? They're not using their instincts. They're not. Okay? And this part of What Women Want, you know how Mel Gibson can get the telepathy, right, with women? And he's all of a sudden taking interest to the secretary, who's very quiet and seems to just kind of get like rambled on all the time. And she wants to kill herself. She actually physically would love to know if anybody would even notice if she didn't show up tomorrow, right? And then guess who shows up? Because she didn't show up. Mel, right? We all have telepathy, okay? We all have the ability to listen and hear other people's minds and hear what's going on with them, okay? And when we have that type of energy, when we already have the ability to do that, now picture this stupid blonde bimbo using her little telepathy powers, using her little tarot cards, and then fucking you up the ass. Do you think that feels good? Right? No. And she thinks you love it. Oh, you love what she does to you. Why wouldn't you? You're getting blackness in a box with a dick up your ass. You don't like that? Come on, everybody likes it though, right? No. That's called being fucked over. Okay? And it's done. This person's not using their natural powers. They're not using their instincts. They're not following their heart. They're not following their they're not following anything. They're looking at you and going, what can I take from you now? Really? You got nothing compared to what this person has bought on Etsy and Amazon. Okay? And they're taking more shit. So the universe is like, their time is up. Your time is up. They can't block you. This is the thing. People think that they can block you, and they're like, oh, I've got all this power. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, you can. You can block a lot of people. You can fuck a lot of people over. But do you know what happens after that? You get fucked. The culprit gets fucked. The culprit's then asked to bend over for 27 years. Okay? And that's just the way of the game. They might not just get it for 100 years because they're out putting spells on people. But the second they stop is the second Satan pulls his pants down. There's a reason why we have to have a Satan. People don't understand that. Oh, you're the devil? Do you need the devil? Do you even like God? There's a light and a dark, okay? And not all the times do I trust a so-called God. No. In a world like this, I grew up with a pedophile down 2 doors from me in my own house. Do you think I believe in a God all the time? Fuck no. But I believe in the Satan that's slowly taking his life away from him. Okay? What's the connection that's supposed to come into your life right now that somebody is obviously trying to block? Okay, so somebody's calling you a whore. Okay, this is the next message. Someone's calling you a whore. They're thinking to themselves, they're just going to be another key on your chain. Oh, they don't really like me. Look at this. I don't know if this is somebody you met just recently, okay? But they called themselves a cock ring to you instantly because all you did was talk to them. Okay, so that's what this spell, now this is another spell. People just calling you a whore. They don't want to deal with you. They say you can't set boundaries. That really you're dealing with a hurt heart and you're just opening up your legs to do so. Okay, this is somebody in your past, okay, that's looking at you somewhere, looking at you online, looking at you somehow, okay, and they're making a lot of judgment calls, okay? And they looked at you online and they automatically said whore. That to me, again, okay. So I know we're obviously, some of us being punished through the world of spells, but then other of us, okay, have this thing going on where somebody knows you from the past. Okay, like for instance, me. Okay, I sold nude photos for a long time. Why did I sell naked photos of myself? Because it was COVID. I couldn't find a job and I was about to be homeless. Wow. So I decided as a grown woman to take my clothes off and take pictures of myself naked. Okay. It was an exhilarating experience for me. It was probably the most fun I've had with a camera for a very long time. I edited the fuck out of them. Okay, thank you. And then I stopped doing it. I poured my heart out to my ex-boyfriend, okay, because I love him to death. I don't know why. He's such an asshole. He's always been an asshole to me, and I still love him. I hear him in my head. He always promotes goodness to me. I don't know why he won't talk to me in the 3D, and he didn't say nothing to me. And I was like, man, you're fucking 40 some odd years old and you can't reply to that. You can't even say like, Whitney, get over it. You know, no, you just say nothing. And that's even worse because now I think to myself, whoa, I wonder if he saw my naked photos. I wonder if he thinks I'm a giant whore. I wonder if he thinks I took it up the ass. I started stripping with 100 men because I didn't. But do you know where the mind can go? Right. So maybe you had a tough upbringing. Okay, and you stripped because your body didn't mean anything to you because it was pissed all over your whole life. So you decide, hey, you get out of your trailer park trash life and you go take your clothes off on a stage and somebody judges you for it. Well, they're there watching you. I'm sorry. What? So they go to the strippers on a weekly basis, but now that you're on the stage, you're to be judged? Okay. So you see how the ego can get behind somebody's mind? And people ask me if I believe in God. How about, do you believe in the 7 deadly sins? How about that? Do you believe in gluttony and greed and wrath? Do you believe in those? Because those are what's fucking this world up. Not God and devils and demons. No. It's people's arrogant minds that just say, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. Little Tweedledee and Tweedledum. No, you're not. Okay? But the world is going to teach you that lesson when you're ready to read and listen and comprehend that message and then get put in jail for whatever it is you fucking did. Okay? So, this is somebody from your past calling you a motherfucking whore. Guess what? Personally, I have not had sex for over 2 years. Almost 3 years? No. 3 years? Okay, and then before that, I went 7 years. While I was taking my clothes off for OnlyFans, I didn't even have a boyfriend. Okay? And I was also working at a breakfast restaurant called Ricky's, making $2 tips. Okay, trying my hardest because my sister couldn't find a job. So what you do in the arms of desperation for survival, and then you get judged for it? Okay. Tell these motherfuckers to pack their things and walk the fuck away. If somebody calls you a slut, guess what? Good. I'm glad they called you a slut. Then they can walk away and gain some fucking respect and understand, like, if you don't want to talk to somebody, that's great. But then don't talk shit about them afterwards. And this is for the collective. You know what I mean? Like, if you hear that somebody's a nappy, ratty little fucking bitch running around acting like some slut fucking playing gonorrhea in the town, if you don't go and talk to them, don't go and spread it like they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, that's awful. Like, to judge people on things that you don't even know what you could end up going through in this life is also fucked. So to be stopped, okay, because somebody thinks you're a slut, even worse. Okay, I knew this one guy back in the day. He was all of a sudden, he was a tattoo artist. I don't know if he is anymore, but he got like the clap, I think. And again, small town, right? Fucking schwiggity. He got the clap, spread it to a couple women, couple girls, not women. And then the whole town knew about him. And they were like, fucking don't go through fucking blah, 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 blah. And yeah, you know what? Honestly, he's still my friend. And he got hit with the clap. Some people get hit with the fucking, what do you call those? Venereal diseases, you know? Because they just out spreading love under pure hate. Because that's what they grew up in. I mean, how can you judge somebody for where they grew up? You didn't choose your parents. You didn't say, oh, hey, yeah, Mom, buy the most fucking ghetto trailer in the world so that I can really get made fun of throughout my life. Like, no! Like, but people are fucked, and they're such losers. And then they keep you single, like this blonde bimbo with Botox lips. I'm sorry if anybody's got Botox, okay? I really am. I knew an ex-boyfriend who used to get Botox in his underarms because he sweats so much. So, like, I'm not, okay, when I say things, it's just because I rant, and I am authenticious, okay? I'm the most authentic person you could probably fucking get in your life, and I get judged like I'm a Barbie doll, and I don't really like that, okay? Because that's not me at all, not at all. Ooh, I'm getting this brand new song in my head right now, and it's about sex. Honestly, brand new. They have this one song called Sick Gloria. Transient Sick Gloria. Spreading her legs. And only wanted to have sex with guys. And you know, it's really sad because some people use sex thinking that that's what love is. Some of us have been massively abused and pedophiled and fucked over, and we don't know what love is. So we think it's something different. And then to get judged for it? What the fuck? Like, I don't understand. People are so judgy, you know, like they're gonna be everywhere, and that's when you just gotta friggin', you know, go on, brush those shoulders off. As I can guarantee you, these losers ain't getting nowhere. All right. Okay, so what's another reason why somebody's single? Okay, so what I'm getting right away, which is really weird because, like, I wouldn't have thought that that was the message that came through these cards, but I'm also getting that somebody either has been told that they are gay or they've been told that they're straight and they're not. Like, they've been told that they're gay, but they're not. They're actually straight. Oh my God. Now I'm getting, oh, what's that fucking tiger, you know, the Tiger King or whatever? Okay, so Travis and the Tiger King's first husband, both were not gay. The Tiger King told them they were gay in order to stay in that zoo, right? So he says to Travis, oh, while watching porn or something, do you look at the big dicks or the little dicks? And Travis goes, well, I look at the big dicks. He goes, well, you're gay then. No, you're not. Give me a break. You're saying that if I watch porn and I look at a pussy, I'm a lesbian? Fuck no. Absolutely. Fuck no. You're lying. Okay. But somebody, maybe that's what it is. Somebody's been convinced that they're gay and they're not. And It's follow the like okay, and if you're gay, please don't take this as like what I'm saying, but it's like the world is like follow the nature of things. What's the nature of things? Man with a woman creates a baby, and here comes the baby carriage, and blah blah blah. Okay, but this person is obsessed with saying you are gay, and you know what it is? As I swear, it's just like Travis. It's because you're good looking. And maybe it's your boyfriend convincing you you're gay. Maybe it's your girlfriend saying, honey, you're gay. I know you. You're gay. It's like, how the fuck can you know me more than me, bitch? No, you fucking don't, right? And this is the call. This is, oh my God, this is genius, okay? This is the call that somebody's needed. It's like, a lot of people, they experiment, right? They're teens and their 20s, they experiment a lot. But then once they get into their 30s and 40s, they kind of start saying like, I don't really want to experiment anymore. I'd like to settle down. So then this person settles down with the wrong sex. They didn't go, they didn't go back because a part of this journey, oh my God, look what's on the bottom staring right at me, the fucking twins, okay? It's like, this could be lesbians, right? This woman is like, no, you have to do this relationship or I'm going to die. Oh. That's the Tiger King again. I'm pretty sure if you haven't watched that documentary, it's surprisingly fucking awesome, okay? It really, it's not awesome to watch cats get abused, but it's just what the fuck happened in that zoo and and then it talks about 2 other people that are completely using and abusing the cat system as well. But it really I like to learn things progressively in my life that actually do something, not things that I will never do with, okay? Because I've got a very small mind and a very, very small attention span. So if it doesn't grab my attention right away, it probably most likely won't, okay? So in that too, Joe said to Travis, okay, he didn't allow Travis to leave the property, okay? Travis was never allowed to go to town. And one thing that he did say, Joe said to him, was the reason why Travis wasn't allowed to leave. Joe said he would kill himself. Kill himself. Travis left. So as if they're twins and they come from the same egg. And if one loses one, the other one can't live. Right? And this is the harvest. This is time to come out. I keep looking at this pot leaf on this. It's in my sunglasses here, and I'm just like, this is growth. Like this is somebody's changing the dynamic of their life because being in this relationship has made somebody feel single for a long time because it's not what they wanted. It's not what they want. It's not who they are. Okay. And when you get convinced of something and then your spouse says they're going to kill themselves if you leave. Okay. If a spouse tells you they're going to kill themselves if you leave, you call the police and you get an ambulance right away and you get them committed. You don't stay there because honestly, if it is a prank and it is a joke, it's working and it's keeping you there. Okay. And if they really are going to hurt themselves, then they need fucking help. And guess what? That help ain't coming from you because you're not a shrink. You're not a doctor. You can't help them. Why is it that you stay in the house, they're not going to kill themselves? What does that even mean? It's a narcissistic grab. It's what they use as the crutch to get innocent people to do all the dirty work for them. And it really sucks because in that kind of situation, how do you know for sure that they're not going to do it? So it's like, it's kind of playing with fire. And that's why I said, call an ambulance. You call the cops, you call 911 and they say, where's your emergency? And you say, my girlfriend says she's going to kill herself if I leave. And I have to leave and start my life. So if she kills herself, I can't be here. And I'm not putting this on my fucking shoulders. Ambulance, there in 5 minutes. Okay, they'll probably even send the cops because the cops are good at talking people off the edge, right? And ambulance is good to bring them right to the psych ward, bring them right to the part of the hospital where they're going to need to talk to somebody because that's not right. There shouldn't be a feeling coming over you that you want to kill yourself if somebody moves on with their life. It's their life. They deserve to live it, right? Okay, let's use the emotional Stranger Things deck here. Both of my snakes are still sleeping. Usually, at least one of them gets up, but they're sleeping. They've been tired. Itchy nose. Okay, last but never least, let's smoke a little bit. Actually, who knows if this is the last message. So for the people in the chat, the last time, like, when I was going live, yeah, I've got 2 snakes. When I was going live back in the day, like back in the winter, I had this gentleman, he used to always come on every single time I was live. Grant was on. And the next day at work, he'd be like, man, that was a rant yesterday, Whitney. Holy moly, I was making spaghetti sauce. And I was like, Grant, you were listening to me? And then I found out he listened to every time I went live for like 3 months. Okay. If he was home, he's a contractor. So he went out a lot with his and worked. But for the most part, he always caught me live. And I found out he's dead. I found out he's dead. And no, his name's Grant. I don't know what his last name is, but it starts with a D anyways. He died May 20th. He died. 4 days later, okay, I didn't know he was dead. 4 days later, I bought my first snake. So I bought my first snake. And then about a month later, I found out that Grant had died. And I was like, I wonder if he got me to get that snake. Because now I'm like, it's like my favorite thing. Like like they say, you buy one, you buy 300, and I've already bought 3. Like I just gave one to my sister. So, but they're all sleeping. Oh, they're such good little snakes. Oh my God. And a spirit has tried to kill them multiple times. One of them almost died again, the other day. It was these things that are happening. A couple of things that have happened with them have been such fluke things all of a sudden, and both of them survived, and which I'm so grateful for. And it's just, you wouldn't believe the negative energy with them. Like somebody, I had a huge phobia too. That's the thing. I had, the ex-boyfriend I was talking about, I poured my whole heart out to, and said how much I respected him and appreciated him and our relationship, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Literally things I wanted to say for 10 years, and he didn't even respond. I was like, that's really nice of you. Thanks for being so mature. He had I don't know, at the time, 5 or 6 snakes. I lived with him with 4 or 5 snakes, I think, at least back in the day. I never touched one of them. He actually he used to chase me around the house with them sometimes in his hands. It wasn't abusive or anything. I would laugh and he would get this giggle on and then chase me around with them. Oh my God. And but he had pythons. He had a king snake that was full grown, a ball python, a constrictor, and actually I think he only had 3 snakes. I think he had 3 snakes. Yeah, he has a lot more now, but and he, like I said, I never touched them. And the one that I did end up settling on for the first is a baby. He's only I think I got him when he was 4 or 5 months old, and now he's, I think, 9 months old. And he's just growing like a fucking rocket. Holy moly. He's honestly the most affectionate, wonderful, beautiful creature in the world. He fell once. Oh my God. He came so fast to me when he fell. and he jumped up on me. Oh my God, he was so scared. Like when he gets scared, he burrows into me. He's just the sweetest thing in the world. I never thought snakes were like that. I really didn't. And I was checked. Like, that's like check yourself before you wreck yourself. I got checked by this snake quick. And they're probably the sweetest things in the world. So I don't know. I had a phobia too, and I think it was a bullshit phobia. I think it was just to try to get me to, I think it was just trying to get me to give them up and not have them, because they're beautiful familiars. Like they come into my dreams. I know a lot of times they come to work with me, and they're just always watching. They're watching things. They're very observant. Serpents are very powerful. So. Okay. Let's see what this next message is got to say. So I just want to say what up to Grant in the spirit world, all right? My friend Grant is dead. And maybe this is a message from Grant. He just loved my rant. Oh, look at this, Ace of Cups. I'm telling you, my dead friend Grant is here, okay? Ace of Cups. This is the message he wants to give out. So maybe this is when the tables turn, you know what I mean? Oh, Ace of Strands. Ace of Cups with the Ace of Wands. And the Seven of Cups fell on the ground. And look at. So this is really weird. So both of these cards, okay, so the Seven of Cups actually is on the Seven of Cups card, okay? It's that same wheel, okay? But it's distorted. It's like you've lost the picture of it, right? What love was supposed to be. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, somebody lost the light. They lost what it meant to be in a relationship. Because some people, like, they just want to do it for financial reasons, financial gain. Now we've got 2 paychecks and I don't have to be alone. Ooh, fucking idiots. Just acting like love is something that is just so, you can just find it anywhere. You can just walk to Walmart and there's the love of your life. Like, you know how hard it is to find a genuine person and how long it takes? Oh my God, Heather! Yay! Heather's here. Okay. 40 minutes in like usual, Heather. But you made it. Okay. Ooh, Queen of Cups and the bottom. Okay, so somebody forgot what love meant. You have to spark that back into your heart. You have to take control of it. And that's the thing, is you have to realize if you want to do it or not. Like, if you want to put the energy in or not, because that's another thing, right? A lot of people, if they can't fuck you right away, if they're not going to get something out of it right away, they're not going to do it, right? They don't want to do it. 9 of Cups on the bottom with the Emperor, but the 9 of Cups in reverse. And then there's the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So the way that I kind of see this is this person, okay, or you, kind of confused at the teamwork of it. Someone's used to controlling everything. Okay, well, I can control this, I can control that. Now I'm in a relationship, I've got control. No. Like, why? A relationship shouldn't make you feel like you have control of your life, right? Like, because for one, I don't really think anybody has control of their life. And second, it's all about that, face first head plan into things, where if you can't get something right away, or if it doesn't show progress right away, then people think it's not working and then they give up on it. Right? Because it's like in your face, the world has taught people that if it's not conveniently right in front of you, then why do it? It's like, well, when the fuck has there been conveniently anything right in front of me? Why am I going to believe that with a match, with a love? Like, I'm just supposed to walk right into them? Like, like sometimes that's what happens with people. And other times it's not so easy, right? They have to actually try, right? But if they don't remember what love means to them, like riding down the street, with your buddy on the back of your bike fucking going to get ice cream, and now it's like, well, you haven't fucked me in 2 weeks, or I haven't seen my girlfriend, I don't know where the fuck she is. Well, like, hey, how about you pick up the phone and give her a call, right? Like, it's like relationships have so much drastically changed, and the fact of, I think a lot of people, if you have to put effort into it, they just fucking walk away. They don't want nothing to do with it, because it's like, they got to put effort in work. They got to put effort in their job. They got to work out. They got to pay their bills. They don't want to effortly put shit into something and then think for 1 second that they're not going to get laid afterwards because of it all, because it costed them money. Oh my God. Okay. So, the reason why I'm going to turn the wheel around and I'm not going to take it in reverse is because I believe that this emperor is going to get a reality check. A fucking check 1, 2, okay? Like, you're not hearing something properly. Check your microphone. Check your fucking headphones. Like something is not registering as to why you believe that something is supposed to be so easy. Right? That it's distorted love. It's distorted the meaning of anything, the sanctuary of even wanting to go and hang out with somebody, right? Because that's the thing, is like, you know, does it matter if you have to talk to them on the phone all the time? Like, why would that matter, right? At least you're still with that person. You're spending time with that person, even though you can't be with them side by side. Why do you have to touch them? So then this comes into why I brought my snakes up. So when I first got my snake, okay, as you know, little phobia, okay, of touching him and shit. So what I did was, you can't really see it. I don't know if you're going to, okay, there it is. Okay. So I built this jungle for him. Okay. So those are all branches on the wall. And then there's his enclosure. Okay. So I take the lid off of his enclosure, and then he climbs up, and then I call it the snakes and ladders. Okay, he climbs up, and then when he's done, he crawls back into his enclosure. I'm not joking. Okay, this is what we've been working on for 4 months being together. Okay, so then I don't have to touch him if he doesn't want me to. If he wants me to touch him, then he'll come towards me when he leaves his enclosure. If he doesn't want anything to do with me, then he goes the other way. He goes up his wall, and he goes and hangs out by himself, because he's active. He sometimes really wants to be out. Like, if my sister and I are in my room talking, he'll come right out and chill, because he wants to be with people. Okay. But it doesn't mean he wants to be touched. So coming from me, who was abused as a child, okay, my parents always had to touch me. Okay. Always. And then in relationships, what do? I have to touch all the time. I have to touch you. I have to know you're there. Okay. And now I'm learning, maybe I don't need to touch something just because it's in my vicinity. Maybe I want to get to know it for a bit. Maybe I don't want to go and fuck my snake up already and go and touch him and go and fuck with him when he doesn't even know who I am. So it worked out. Okay. He's trained himself. Honestly, we worked together. We worked obviously 4 months together doing this, okay? It doesn't happen every day. Sometimes it doesn't even happen that week. He won't come out if he doesn't want to, right? I open it up, he dives down, that's it, okay? He's not coming out. I open it up, he comes up, he wants to come out. Now the other one, got massively scared. I don't know, he's actually about a year, I think. And I don't know who had him before me, but they fucked him up. Every time I open up his enclosure, he runs. He's terrified of people. So it's taken me months now. He's got his own little jungle gym above his cage now. Hey, there he is. He's popping his little head out. Okay, so he's got his own little enclosure. And now he comes out when he wants to. On his own little, I've got this little runway that I built for him, and then it goes right up into his trees, and he hangs out up there by himself. And if he wants to come on to me, he comes down, he looks at me, and he comes on to me. And then when he's done, he goes back into his enclosure. That's the way it works, okay? You don't have to touch something in order to know that you love it or to feel it. Why? So I tell this lady at work, okay, that I got this snake and that they're really, really timid and it's really hard to work with them. And she looked at me like I was an asshole. She was like, you need to take him out of that enclosure and you need to exercise him. He's going to become defensive and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, for one, she didn't even own a snake. And for second, I was like, okay, I just got him home. Like, literally, I just got him home. He was home for like 48 hours. He hadn't even come out from under his water dish yet. And I was like, you want me to just go jumping in there and grabbing up on him and just taking him out whenever I want because I'm King Tut and I'm bigger than him? Oh, so we got into a fight at work and I didn't talk to that bitch again. And guess what? She quit. I tried to talk to her again after that. She thinks fucking little Miss Know-It-All. I know everything. I know everything. Guess what? That was the best thing I could have done. I even talked to experts about it. I was like, what do I do? He's full of anxiety. I just, I was reading up on it. Sure enough, I did exactly what they say to do. You go, you spend time with them. You let them see your face. Okay. You let them come up to you. You do stuff with them in the enclosure first. You don't just go grabbing things because you're bigger than them. It's terrifying. Yeah, it's terrifying. But they don't tell you that because the average human wants to fucking abuse. Because they think they have a right to do it. They think they have a right to just touch and to just grab and just do whatever they want. They don't even know you. I'm sorry, but last I heard, work probation was 90 days. Why the fuck are you feeling me up on our 4th date? Or on our 1st date? Or thinking I'm going to do something with you in the car? Bitch, I don't even fucking know you. Put that fucking shit in my mouth. Fuck you. How about you go see the doctor first and then we'll fucking talk about it? Like, times have changed. And now you have to realize, like, are you just wanting to fuck people because you just want to put your dick in something? Or do you actually want to try to find somebody that you can have an intellectual conversation with? Right? And I think that's what people have lost. The sight of what love actually means. They just want a safety. They want a safety net. They want a harness. They want to know that they're not going to fall if they lose their job. But what they don't realize is people have free will. They could leave you for some other tramp because they're not meant for you, because that's not love. That's an easy grab. And I know a lot of people have relationships that are really, they start off as one-night stands and they end as one-night stands. You don't have any respect for each other, right? You don't love each other. You don't even love yourself if you're having one-night stands. That's not love, right? You're hurting your body by doing that. You're forcing your energy into something else because of a lack of a feeling inside of you, right? It's like, I think somebody's got to get back to their emperor. This is my motherfucking house, right? This is where I live. If you want to see me, this is where I'm at, 225 Bunker Hill. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you can find me. I'm not going to chase you around. And I'm certainly not going to suck your dick to get you to call me back. No, sweetheart, that's not love. That's not love. Okay? Love is so shared. And I mean, there he is. See, he knew I was talking about him. One of them knew I was talking about them. Because he came right up. I'm surprised. He slept in today. The other one's not coming out. And you know another thing, too? I always change their enclosures around. Like, I always make sure that they have a little change in their little rooms. And every time I put something in the one, snakes, the first one that I have, he comes out and inspects it right away. And he's like smelling it and like rubbing himself on it, and then he'll go back to bed. He's so funny. These, honestly, I did not know that snakes were the way that they are. Like, I did not know their personality. I just thought, I mean, my ex didn't tell me shit about them. He didn't play with them. He didn't build them, jungle gyms. He honestly, he took them out once every 6 months, changed the soil in their enclosures, and then put them back in their enclosures. Like, he didn't touch them. He didn't train them. He didn't fucking do anything with them. He just had them sit in tanks all day, I don't even think he had any foliage in the tanks. There were just like sticks in the tank. Like, he was so ghetto on how he took care of his animals. And he has like a kid and a wife and fucking, he's a breeder now. Like, oh, so he deserves all of that when he doesn't even treat his wildlife properly. But most of us don't deserve to be with anybody, really. And actually, the other day I saw this girl who I know stole from me. Okay, she stole a husband, she stole a house, she stole a kid, she stole a car, and a job. All of these were contracts. Okay, some of us have like contracts. Okay, and if another person crosses our path from the past that we owe a contract to, then we'll give it to them, right, to settle the beef. Well, I obviously had a contract that was unsettled with her, so I gave it to her as a, here you go, thank you for whatever you did in another life for me a long time ago. And she took that contract and then 4 more after it. And I think that was at the time right after she took the 4 or 5 contracts. I was homeless, living in my car. So I came face to face with her. The last time I had seen her daughter that she had stolen, Penelope had just been born. And when I saw, this was the first time the whole family was together, the whole fucking family pulled up. We pulled up right before them too. So I know that that was a sign. And their kid now is probably 5 or 6. Like, I mean, she was walking with her dad and she was like mid-level to him. I don't know kids, so like I don't know how old that would be, but she was probably at least 4 feet tall, like 3.5 feet, 4 feet tall. However old a kid would be that age. And I'm thinking, who did you say that we were friends? Because I haven't seen your kids since they were a baby, and look at them. That's not friendship. There's no way in this world, because I think that's how people have to steal contracts, is they have to say that they're your friend. They have to say that you would give that to them so then they can take it, because I think there's a manipulative dimension where it's supposed to be the barter system where you're supposed to give and take, but people take like they do in 3D. They just come in and they take, they put shit in their pockets, they act like they didn't do anything, and they walk out. Right? If they can do it in 3D, they can obviously do it in other dimensions. It's not like, this isn't the only dimension where we have things, right? And she took so much shit. And then by seeing that family together 5.5, 6 years later, as a unit, as one, I almost threw up. It was so much energy that I put my head down and I was like, I got this little rush of energy. And then I look up and my sister saw them. So she's pointing at them going like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, I know they're here. But then my sister got served. They actually went to the same store together and everything. Oh my God, I stayed in the car. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're walking into the same store. Like, Courtney will kill her. Like, everybody always says, worry about Whitney. Whitney's the psycho one. Let me tell you, my sister is crazy, okay? My sister is crazy, but she's quiet. I'm loud. She's quiet. Siblings, there's always like one quiet one, one loud one. She's the quiet one. And the quiet ones are the scariest ones because those are the ones that have everything lingering underneath. And you have no idea when they're going to blow their gasket. At least with me, people always knew, okay, something's coming. Whitney's definitely angry. But with her, she would just say silent. And that's the quiet before the storm, like she would just be quiet. And I'd be like, oh, you guys don't fucking know what Courtney's about to do right now. But they're all stationed looking at me, paying attention to me, thinking I'm going to do something to react to what's being done to my sister. And I'm like, she can handle herself. Trust me. I don't got to do shit for her. You need to fear her more than you fear me. Right? Fear itself is just an illusion. But Courtney is like a fucking tornado. And she's 100 pounds of wrath if you want to fuck with her. Okay? But that's the thing, is like maybe somebody's always trying to make it seem like you're not there, which is keeping you single, right? Oh, they're not really there. They don't really deserve anything. They're not there. Bitch, I'm right fucking here. Everybody deserves to be with somebody. That's the thing. And if you don't truly deserve to be with somebody, then you deserve to be alone. And I think majority of these people who are in relationships that stomped, okay, getting that contract, they ain't in it for the love. They're not in it because they really want to be. That contract keeps them safe. Okay, so we're being asked here to hold on to the vision of hope, of a movement forward. But there's a lot of darkness here, you know, there's a lot of things that can't be seen. Ooh, look at that sexy card. A message, incoming message, okay? So there is movement forward with a vision. Okay, so you could have been holding on to hope for a really long time, okay? So much so that it changed who you are even as a person. Like it grew your tree, it molded you, you found so much strength and hope that it's almost a mockery to say, hey, can you just hold on to a little bit more, right? It's almost like, did you just say that to me? I've been holding on hope for years. Do you think I'm just going to let it go now? Fucking idiots. No, but it's really hard to hold on to it when you don't see anything. Okay, so I think you're going to get a vision. I think you're going to get a vision. So, like, watch your dreams. Because another sense of why you've been single this whole time. High Priestess of Fire. Okay, this person could be a fire sign. But I think the whole reason why you have been single this whole time was to almost like ignite your inner fire. To keep... This might be a relationship. Like, this next relationship for you might be it. Forever, over, done. You're never going to have to go on POF ever again, okay? So if you're going to cash all your chips in at the one time to make it last forever, then they want you to be in a position where you can fight to stay in it. Because it's not even about the relationship anymore. It's about the will to stay in it, right? To be like, okay, well, now I have to fight for this, because if you don't fight for it, then the other person's not going to. So then I was watching something last night where a woman cheated on her husband with their best friend, and it's taken the husband a couple months now to realize that he was partly to blame for that affair, because he stopped caring. He stopped fighting. He stopped trying. He got sloppy and messy. And if you can admit, hey, half of this is my fault, then you've got the relationship, right? Like, because that's the thing, is like, you can't bring your pride, okay, into this relationship with you, right? You can't. You have to put your walls down in order for this to work. And in order to put your walls down, you have to trust this person. And if you have to trust them, then you have to give them the time to build the trust, right? So you have to get to know one another, right? And that in itself takes strength. To even want to do it, to stay doing it, and then to find the hope within the strength of why you're doing it to begin with, and keep that fire lit, okay? Because something is going to move forward, and maybe you've already had the vision, okay? I don't know, but whatever vision is happening, okay, whatever either the universe can see for you or what is happening, what you can see for yourself, a message is attached to it, okay? And it even has the sign of the moon on it. So we can't read this message right now. It's being hidden. And I just heard protected. It's being protected. And then, actually, I think the same show, this girl gives this guy her number, and then he doesn't call. But they work together. So she goes, hey, like, he like tries to talk to her, and she's like, I gave you my number and you never called. I don't know why you're over here trying to talk to me. And he goes, I did call. I just hung up a bunch of times. And she was like, okay. So then she thought, okay, now something's going to happen. But then he waited a couple more weeks. So then she was like, well, what the fuck? Once again, like, you told me you were going to call. You said it was just because you were nervous. And now you still haven't called. So then he walks like 10 feet away from her. and calls her on the phone right there. And, you know, sometimes people don't have the balls to stand up and talk to you, right? Some people just don't have the courage to drop their pride and their dick size for a second and go like, hey, maybe I actually can open up my heart. Hey, maybe I can actually give this person the benefit of the doubt, okay, and find hope in this and actually write them. Because somebody could just be holding something back from you and they don't want to say it. And it's like, but the universe knows they're going to say it, but they... Did you just see how this landed? Can you see that? Okay, well, I'm just going to show you like this. It just landed like this. It's upside down, obviously. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. Anyways, that's how it landed, okay? Fucking super weird. And that's the fledging. So that would be basically the idea of a Fool card, okay? And that's taking off. Okay, that's almost like getting, does it want to stand up? Can it stand up here? No. That's almost like getting the call. Okay, getting the call. Hey, I can stand there. Yay, there we go. Okay, it's getting the call and actually going with it. Okay, see how her whole like chest chakra is lit up with this fire? Bonfire. Okay, this fire, it has to burn inside of you. Okay, and that burning is what brings you forward. Hey, I didn't even notice the High Priestess of Water snuck out. Okay, so with fire and water, don't worry about setting yourself on fire because the water is right there to cool you down. Okay, it's right there to make sure that it doesn't get out of control. So I almost feel like that's like almost temperance. Okay, with the fire and the water. Sorry, my throat. I mean, look at that. Okay, I'm going to take this down now for a second. I mean, look at that crazy energy. That is Sagittarius in between this message or on the outside of this message. So the message that could be pending for you, somebody has a lot to say and maybe they just don't know how to say it. So the universe is like, okay, they're so fired up about something, but they have to cool that fire down. So we have to wait for them to balance themselves before they move forward. So either this is directly to you and you have to balance yourself a little bit more before the universe can pull you forward so then you don't fuck this up, right? You could meet somebody that's like fucking, jaw dropping. Fall off the bone beautiful and you can't get near them, right? That's restraint. Right? That's learning how to temperance yourself because sure, you can be all fired up and the sex will probably be great, but then what? Then what? You can't have sex 24/7, okay? There's a lot of time in between, okay? What are you going to do in that time in between? I think that's where you've had to build up your, I think, intellectual side. So then you've got more of a stimuli so then people can find you actually interesting to be involved with and not just a piece of ass to look at, right? So I almost feel like the reason why you've been single for a while is kind of a testimony to yourself. And maybe that's why Aphrodite's here because, I thought the story of Aphrodite was that was Lilith. Okay, so I think Lilith is coming through Aphrodite right now, which I don't have a Lilith card, so that would make sense that Aphrodite would let Lilith talk. So the story with Lilith is Lilith, I think, was married to Adam, and she didn't do what he said. She went against her husband, and she went against what he wanted her to do, thus creating Lilith as her own individual temper. And Lilith could have stayed with Adam if Adam had figured out how to put his fucking baggage away and not carry it around with him thinking that Lilith was the one who had to take care of everything for him. Just because you're a fucking woman, it doesn't mean that it's your responsibility to take care of everything. Well, the men get out and make the money. What the fuck? This isn't the Flintstone era, okay? Like, honestly, like, everybody has to work. Everybody's got a job. Okay, and if you have kids, then somebody's got to stay fucking home and take that hit. Okay, but if there's a no situation where it's like, okay, well, both of us right now have to look at this from a different angle because we're not going to get what we want right away. But who's to say that's a bad thing? That's not a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. And hold on one second. Sorry, I just have to plug my phone in. There. Okay, sorry, I just had to plug my phone in or it's going to die. Okay. And clearly this message is not over as quick as I see. This is why I had to channel it live, because I had a feeling I was going to be ranting and raving for a very long time because it's like pent up energy, okay? Ooh, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, pent up energy. And 1013. Okay. Pent up energy. I think this message has pent up energy. Okay. And you're summoning something that's way more chill. Okay. Love is not really supposed to be like, go, 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 blah, blah, blah. This is how it's done. Down the aisle. Poof. Done. No. Love is kind of something to be ventured in. There's so many different avenues and so many different streets and so many valleys and so many peaks. And, there's so many things in relationships that if you're going to summon the one that is going to make it till the end, then summon a good one. Okay? Summon a good one. Right? Not something fast and quick and easy so it can just sit there for 30 years. That's so 1920s, that's not 2024. And I mean, 2024, motherfuckers be getting so goddamn lazy. Holy shit. Everyone's so fucking lazy that it makes the ones who have energy look like they're on crack. Right? Because of how lazy and how checked out people are. Right? People got to check back in. And I know it's hard, but actually part of the show that I was watching, this lady, she was a divorce attorney and she started having seizures in court all the time because she couldn't listen to arguing anymore. Right? So she had to drastically change her life. She had to make a move, a conscious effort to change her life. And she went, that's, years of school to get out of it, to do something else with it. So then you don't die because of it. Right? Anyways, love doesn't cost anything. And it really is about listening to yourself. And the best relationships, the relationships that you find yourself in reflect the period of life that you're in, right? So if you have been single for a while, it might be because you weren't on the right level for the relationship that you were trying to get to, right? Think about it. If you were going to be, if you were looking for somebody who's got tenure or something and you're still working at the ice cream shop, you would have had to grow up too, right? For this type of situation. So that's why it's really awesome that it's temperance, because it seems to me like somebody has evolved their heated and emotional side. So then one doesn't get overloaded. Right? Because it will, honestly, you know what I'm picking up? Maybe this is going to be a long distance relationship. Maybe something that's coming in, and the reason why it hasn't started was because you didn't have the energy to do it, or you didn't realize that that was going to be the effort that it would take to get the relationship that you truly deserve. Right? Because it could be different countries or something, and it's people do that shit all the time. There's this one, oh man, what was that island? There was this island where these men just can't find women. There's just no women. It's all men. It's like a fishing It's like a fishing island. So they all find girlfriends off of Facebook. Isn't that hilarious? They're like, we have to resort to using Facebook to meet women offshore. And then these women are like, holy shit, they are so happy to get on that boat and go and marry their fishermen for the rest of their lives. Like, they really are. Like, they're stoked to do it, because that's the thing is, like, people who are willing to take a chance on something end up getting the best adventures, right? And because they're the ones that are willing to take the adventure, because not a lot of people are willing to, like, you know, go talk to somebody in Scotland when they're in Manitoba, okay? But they just know that their life in Manitoba doesn't mean anything. So they can leave and go start something. Why not? I mean, you only have one life to live. And if you don't do what you really want to do, it's like you just end up spending your time in this box. And maybe that's the first reading, you know, like, you're keeping yourself in the box. You're keeping yourself away from the blessings, right? Like, you have to put your heart out there. Like, you almost sometimes have to make yourself look like an idiot for people to even look at you, right? Because honestly, I watched this video of this guy watch this girl dance on this bus, and he didn't know her, and they ended up getting married. That's how they met each other. She was dancing on a bus to try to get her friend to laugh, because her friend's boyfriend had just broken up with her. So she was trying to get her friend to laugh, and she was doing these like skits in front of her friend and didn't realize that this guy was watching her. And then they end up, you know, he walks right over and like, it's like, you just blew me away. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, I was acting like an idiot. And he's like, well, you know, that's what does it for some people, because I don't want the shy person in the corner that's not talking to anybody. Maybe some people want the loud, energetic ones that just don't give a fuck, that are like, why do I have to be quiet? Why do we have to act like we're in church? You know, why can't you live? Why can't you, you know, like, there, you know, many times I'd be with my parents and I would say something loud and they'd be like, shh, shh, shh. Why? Why do you care? People look at us. I don't understand. Why does it matter? Because you know what? They're going to look, and in 2 minutes, they're going to be gone, and they ain't going to fucking remember, right? But some people are just so, like, maybe this is another, like, you got to get over appearance, you know? Like, you have to get over what other people are going to think of you walking into a room with this person. Why does it matter what anybody else fucking thinks, for one, okay? And for another, if you're worried about how other people see you with this person, you're not ready for love. That's another thing, right? Because this is all things that, like, yes, there could be curses against you and people trying to fuck with you and taking everything away from you. And it could be on the objective of you don't deserve it, because you don't know what it's based off of just yet, because you keep seeing the outside and thinking that looks good for you, when it could be full of parasites, right? You don't know what's inside of something until you start to get to know it. Right? Until you start cutting in those pieces and cutting out those wounds and seeing where this person actually fucking is alive or dead. You know, because most people act like they're alive, honey. They're fucking walking dead. Okay? They're not alive. And then to get you to start thinking that you're doing something wrong because of it? No. So many people told me that I was doing so many things wrong with my life. And guess what, man? Every decision that I ever made, I did for the best of me. And, you know, recently, because I live with my sister, because of her, oh my God, delusional ex-husband, you know, I do everything for my sister. Everything. I was actually thinking of that last night. I was like, why do I do what I do? Like, why do I work? Why do I make money? Why do I do this? Why do I care? You know, because the world is not giving me anything. So why do I care about what happens? And then I look at the wall, and my sister's on the other side of, and I go, like, I do it for her. Like, I clearly am not really living too much to live for myself. So I live to keep a roof over her head, because that keeps her happy. And if I'm not 100% happy, then I know that my snakes are really happy, and I know my sister's happy. And if she's not happy, then I'll go buy her fucking pizza, or fucking, get her a pack of smokes and fucking put a smile on her face again. Like, sometimes you have to be willing to sacrifice your state of mind for the state of somebody else's in times. And that's what love is. That's so much of love that, like, my parents never taught me any of that. And I really learned love by living with my sister. Because for 2 or 3 years we've lived together now, she couldn't find a job. And I'm a waitress. I can find a fucking job anywhere. I can fly anywhere. I can do it. I've worked across this country because I can find a job anywhere. It's easy. All I have to do is get a smart serve, and I'm certified fucking anywhere, any province, anytime. Doesn't matter, right? She was like a dental assistant. She couldn't find a job for years. And so I supported her. This one job, oh my God, a couple of years ago, I made like over $1,000 a week, easy, $1,500 a week just in tips, $2,000, yeah, because I got the money to move us here. I got like 15 grand in under 2 months, and I moved us here because she couldn't find a job there. So my sacrifices for my sister have been phenomenal. And like, it just makes me better of a person. It's not like so many people are like, oh, isn't your sister a burden on you? You got to pay for your sister. And I'm like, well, I already have to myself pay for an apartment, which will cost me $1,600. So what's the difference of having one more bedroom? Honestly, I don't eat a lot of food. So majority of my food goes bad. What's wrong with my sister eating it? Right? Some people think like it's such a burden. It's a burden, but life is a burden. Why would I make my sister a burden because of something she couldn't control? She can't control not finding a job. She put out like 150 resumes over the last like 7-8 months. Yeah, I know how hard she's trying. Do you think I'm going to take that out on her and be like, I don't work for you, I work for myself? Do you know how many times my parents blamed themselves having to go to work on my sister and I, that they had to pay for my sister and I? And I was like, but you're my parent. Like, you have to go to work. What are you talking about? And now people want me to blame my sister and get angry at my sister. I'm like, I don't know how much my parents hated me, but I can tell you this. I would never get angry at her because she couldn't find a job. And my parents got angry that they had to buy food for me growing up. Do you know how happy I get that I get to feed my snakes? I'm like, oh my God, it's feeding time, it's feeding time. I get my sister over, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feed. They get so happy when they eat. My mom didn't even want to cook dinner for me. She would throw down some slop in front of me and walk away. Like, no wonder I have Crohn's disease. I don't even know what she fed me as a child, but it fucked my fucking system up so bad, okay, that I'll have to deal with ulcers for the rest of my life. Like, that could probably kill me because of what my mother fed me growing up. And she'd get angry. She'd be like, oh, I guess I have to cook you dinner. Oh, and then she'd just be drunk. People never understood how drunk my mother was all the time and how she never wanted to take care of my sister and I. And I'm just like, that's not love. That's not love. That has nothing to do with love. Like, if you don't want to feed your children, there is something wrong with you. And if you bring your child to McDonald's every day, there's something wrong with you. You should want your child eating clean and good and not metallic-free food. You know, you should want your child to thrive and not just, oh, well, I have to pay for them now. Like, you have to pay for shit anyways. No matter if my mother had me or not, she still would have to keep a job for herself. So I don't understand why my sister and I were so much harder considering she got like $800 for fucking child support every month. Like, honestly, what people bitched about back in the day, I look at and go like, you are a fucking freak. You are a fucking entitled little fucking bitch ass pussy that just didn't want to fucking go to work and you wanted your bills paid for you and you had kids so that didn't happen. Guess what? You're the idiot in this situation, not your child. Okay? If you didn't want to have kids and all of a sudden you're stuck with them, guess what? Give them up. Give them to a foster parent. Don't fucking mistreat them and abuse them. And you know what I read? Which is so amazing, that social media can now be used against parents in a court of law. And thank God, because these parents are filming themselves beating their children and tying them up and going, this is how you properly punish your child, right? And now the fucking social media is calling it out. No more. You film it. You literally just filmed yourself committing a crime, right? Thank God, because that's how stupid these women are. I can do this to my child. I can beat them. You remember that Audrey Rose or whatever the fucker, I don't know, tied her kid up and everything? She said she had the right to do that. She had the right to beat her children. She had the right to tear her children's self-esteem down. She had the right. She was the mother. And then I'm just like, yeah, that's what my mom did. Like, that's what my stepmother did. That's what my father continues to do. Like, they just, oh man, I told my father that my stepfather sexually abused me. And he goes, I want to talk to your mother about this. I don't believe you. Good luck getting a hold of my mom. I don't even know where she is. And yeah, why don't you go and talk to the pedophile himself? Why don't you go out there to New Brunswick right now and you go talk to him yourself and you go ask him what he did? Because guess what? He's going to say he didn't do anything. Because that's what pedophiles do. They don't stand up and go, I, Craig William Miller, fucked over my 3-year-old stepdaughter. Okay, pedophiles don't do that. No. Okay? Like, people aren't just going to admit that they did things to you. Like, that's why you have to have the courage to stand up for yourself. You have to have the courage to love yourself. And then, if you want love, you have to have the courage to fight for it. Right? And I think a lot of us were held back and held away from things, so then we didn't fuck it up. So then we found more in ourselves. So then we didn't have to find somebody to see something in ourselves. Because that's really, like, we do so much damage to ourselves by trying to find an outside influence for an inside opinion. Right? And I think that, a lot of people are to grow mentally and to evolve, and they don't. So then they grow externally. And they look a lot older than they are because they never absorbed any information. Right? You either age internally or you age externally. And that's kind of what was told and downloaded in a dream of mine the other day, because somebody said something about, like, damn, like, you look like you're Benjamin Buttoning. Saying it to me. And I was like, well, because I've learned more on the inside that I haven't had to mature on the outside. Right? Because I'm maturing on the inside. So nothing has to change on the outside. But if I wasn't growing and if I wasn't evolving and learning what I had to, then I would look 40 years old, or what a 40-year-old would stem from looking from. But I don't, because I've grown. Right? Ooh, I'm getting this Manson song right now. And a body that shows me death. Your lips look like they were made to suck his mouth, but they just suck my breath. Oh, it's called Evidence. Oh, I love that song. Oh, that's an album. I think it's called, like, Eat Me, Drink Me. Fucking Manson. I hate Manson, but I love his voice. He's not really good as a person, but his voice is just very sexy. Okay, this last message. Okay, so you might have the feeling that somebody is lying to you, or that the situation is a lie, something's a lie. It's not. Something's hiding. It's mimosa time. You know mimosa juice. Whew. Something's hiding. Exit in reverse. Okay, you know what I think? Okay, so there's this message I'm getting where I feel like somebody left somebody. Okay, they exited, they left. Exit the building. Okay, Elvis has left the building. But then they were like, I want back in. And then they turned around. And then okay, so say this was a club or something, okay? So they go, okay, you know what? I want to leave. They go up to the bouncer and they're like, listen, I gotta go, okay? But they're lying. They never wanted to go to begin with, okay? But they didn't have any mercy. They just didn't like themselves. They didn't have any mercy for the situation. They thought they had to react right away. Okay, they thought they had to fight or flight right away, and that's, it's either yes or no right now. And that was a lie. So they just left. And then they didn't realize, okay, wait, hold on a second. I think I pulled it's almost like somebody pulled a fast one. And they were like, ooh, I pulled out way too soon. Wait, you know that? Pulled out way too soon, okay? But they're hiding. They're hiding. And I think they're just happy. Okay, they leave the nightclub, okay, hypothetically speaking, okay? They leave the nightclub, okay? And you're like looking around, you're like, oh yeah, I don't see them anymore. I guess they left. You must have asked somebody a question, okay? You must have said something to somebody recently, and they thought it was a yes or no, that's it. If you don't answer, we're never speaking again, okay? And they ran away. And then they got outside of the bar and they started thinking about it. Clearly they brought their mimosa with them and they were like sitting outside going like, but they didn't leave. They didn't leave. They didn't get in their car. They didn't call a cab. They just stood outside with the bouncer. Because you know how some people do that, right? You go outside, have a smoke, bouncer standing there. You're like, hey, how's your night? Yeah. Talk to the bouncer. People always talk to bouncers. They must feel... Because they're almost, honestly, when people used to stare at Mike, they used to think because the bouncer is the person who helps you. Okay, if there's a situation, they help the bar, they maintain peace. They're like the peace officers, all right? They allow people to come in and people to leave. They decide. The bouncer decides who comes in and out, okay? So the fact that they were let into the club, okay, you say something to them, and then they're like, fuck that, I can't answer this question right now, I gotta go. And you're like, okay, you turn around, you go back to drinking with your girlies or whatever, they leave. They don't get into their car. They stand and they talk to the bouncer. Okay? They stand and they talk to the bouncer. Because they're like, okay, well, I just flighted. I just left. But they didn't leave. So the bouncer's like, well, I'm watching you. Sometimes where you leave an event or something, they don't let you back in because they don't want you going and drinking in your car and then coming back or doing something stupid, right? You get your smoking section and then you go back in, right? But for some reason, because it's hypothetical and it's in some stupid realm where my head is seeing it right now, it's like they just stood there. And then by talking to the bouncer, right, they obviously said something to the bouncer like, hey, this guy said something to me in there, this girl said something to me in there, and then they were like, fucking pussy, what do you mean you ran? What the fuck would you fucking run for? And then he's like, oh, I am being a pussy. Because some people, they just let their estrogen just go way out of place, and it's just like, okay, bring it back, okay, bring it back. Your own testosterone is hiding from you in this situation because you think it's, okay, I got to do this right away or it's nothing, when really that's the world giving you an invitation to something that could last forever, okay? But they didn't leave, okay? They didn't leave. They just walked out the door. Did you see how those cards left right when I said that? They just walked out the door, okay? And look at this. Corpse with ghost came together in reverse, okay? So this person, they didn't ghost you, okay? They didn't die. They didn't leave. They just are working to find out the truth, okay? So they're just trying to figure something out before they come to your door again, before they come back into the bar, before they come back into the venue, before they come back into wherever they are, okay, wherever they were, wherever you are. They have to have mercy for something. And maybe it's just mercy for themselves. Like, just give yourself something, have mercy for yourself for 2 seconds, see what you can do with this life, with this energy, and not just death it and walk away like it's going to be way too much. Like, because if you're not willing to state the test of time with something, then the easiness is just going to be the thing that stares at you all the time. Because that's what the world's expecting you to do. You want something easy, and there it is, dangled, poof, the person takes the easy thing, right? Like I was in California once. I was living with my aunt at the time, and my ex-boyfriend cowardly called me through somebody else, okay? So he had his friend call me, and his friend was like, hey, like, what are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I'm living in California right now. He's like, well, I just want to let you know, blah, blah, blah is single again. And I was like, okay, well, I'm in California right now. I don't really know what to say. Like, I mean, if he wants to talk to me or whatever. Fucking guy never talked to me and ended up just hooking back up with his ex-girlfriend. The easiest thing that he could possibly see, he just grabbed right in front of him again. Oh, there's my ex-girlfriend. I'll just take her instead. Because I was in California. Oh, so fuck. You couldn't wait a couple weeks to see me. You have to just go and date your ex-girlfriend right away. And then we lost years again. And then, that's the thing is like sometimes people, if that's what you want, the easiest thing to just walk up to you, then honestly, you're not going to get anything from this channel. You're not ever going to get anything from me. And that's just the kind of energy I never, ever want to speak to, because life is just not that easy and things are not that easy. And the best things in life we work really hard for because we don't want them to leave. And we want to get to the best position that we possibly can so that it works out for us. Right? If we're going for something easy, then we're expecting just glue to keep it together. Oh, whatever. I'll just take her out for dinner and shut her up. Oh, I'll just take her on a vacation and shut her up. Oh, this will bond us together. I'll just put some money in her over here and then she'll shut up and she'll be fine. Because a lot of women are like, he's not paying attention to me. I want to go on a trip. He has to show me he loves me. What the fuck does that even mean? Somebody by showing you they love you is that they buy you something? Oh my God, right? Like that has to maybe that's what this person is realizing because they're on the outside of the arena, that they're talking to this bouncer and they're getting an outside perspective on something. Okay. They have to give themselves mercy. They're not giving themselves mercy in this situation. They just want to lie to themselves and say, it's too much. I have to go, but they know they don't want to go. So they're just lying to themselves about the whole situation. Right. And that's where it's like, okay, well, in that type of situation, you have to let that person figure out the truth on their own. They have to decide if they want to come back in. Right. Because chasing people and trying to get people to talk to you is not going to work unless they actually want to say something to you. You know what I mean? So you just go back into the club. Well, actually, you haven't even left the club. You just stay doing your own thing. Okay, that's the advice to you, is to stay doing your own thing, because this person is the one that ran away. But they ran away and they just went to the other side of the door. They didn't go anywhere. And you think they're never going to be around again. And they almost think, honestly, if they don't drop their pride and their ego on the whole thing, they never will say anything to you. And that's where it's going to be like, man, honestly, this person at that point is just missing out. Then the love that they do get is going to be so superficial, and then they will deserve that because they're not willing to exercise the demons in them that say that you actually have to try if you want something, right? You can't just snap your fingers and then it appears and think that that's effort that needs to get put in. Like, snapping your fingers on anything, like, what are you, bewitched? Are you a genie? Like, no, nothing works that easy. So It's like there have been obviously multiple reasons why people have been single over the years. And it's like some of it is blockages and some of it is bullshit, okay? And other parts of it are so then you don't fuck it up. So then you don't haul it and forget it when it just doesn't work out your way. Right? And the whole theories thing. Well, my theory is with this person. Why don't you just ask them? Instead of hypothesizing possible theories about why somebody's doing what they're doing when you can just ask them. It takes a lot less energy. Right? And I think for the most part, collective will know when they're being lied to. Right? And if it seems shady to you, if somebody tells you something and you go like, ugh, it might be bad information. But if you read something, and look at Blaze One for the Nation, you know, like you read something and it makes you feel good and you go like, maybe I overestimated that one, you know, like maybe I just kind of took it too far. Like admit that. Admit when you feel like, you know, I watched somebody admit that they were wrong last night, and she was like, you know, it's really hard for me to admit that I'm wrong because I'm never usually wrong. And it's like, well, you know, the first step is to admit that you have a problem. That you can't admit when you're wrong, you know, and it's really hard for you to do that. Well, guess what? I mean, a lot of people make wrong mistakes all the time, but they don't let their pride feed that or their ego feed that. They go, damn, I can admit when I'm wrong, and I can admit when I'm being an idiot, right? Because those are the best people. Just admit when you do, you know, it's just like, it's just so much better to have a clear conscience on things than think that you have to say something and you have to lie in order for people to like you and for people to accept you, right? Because if you have to lie for acceptance, that's not acceptance because they're accepting you on a false pretense that you're telling the truth about something that you're not. So anyways, I am friggin' starving Marvin, so I have to go and make some breakfast and eat. And I hope this resonated. I'm not nearly as like pent up as what I was when I first turned this video on because of what I saw in my dreams this morning on women just being stupid catty bitches and attacking me because they've got boyfriends that can hurt me. And it's just like, you know, I just have a feeling like the collective is going through the same thing. That I don't know if you can remember your lucids or not, but you definitely might have somebody popping up in your dreams telling you that you don't deserve anything. And they're telling you that so then they can get everything that you're not getting, right? Because they're stealing it. So, anyways, oh my God, my stomach is rumbling. Okay, I have to go. Peace out. Thanks for watching. For anybody who's been here since I turned on the video, what up? If you're new, what up? Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for listening to this really long, hard rant today. My dreams are a motherfucker these days, so they might be coming out as readings. Don't be surprised. And if it doesn't resonate, don't worry. There always are more readings that will come up that might resonate. And if they just don't, then I might be the wrong reader for you. That's a possibility, okay? So yeah, peace out. Word to your mothers. Be good, be safe, love yourself more than these motherfuckers do, all right?